Welcome in, creeps. Today's video, I'm going to be drawing the prototype from Poppy Playtime, Chapter 5. So right here, I start this drawing with the way you start every good drawing, a circle. Just kind of sketching from memory. I looked at a couple of the pictures online. I was drawing on a 5x7 piece of paper, so fitting his jester hat into the small amount of paper I was using proved to be a little difficult. Typically I work in 5x7, but for this one I should have probably gone up to 8x10. If I draw it again, I will definitely do that next time. So I like to start a lot of my drawings just by sketching in pencil. Sometimes I'll sketch in pen if I'm freeform, just drawing or whatever, but I wanted to get this one right, so I was sketching in pencil. That way I could erase and, move lines around if I needed to. Now I'm throwing in the eyes. I'm kind of used to the way the eyes are drawn because I draw these eyes on my characters a lot. Sort of a crooked oval shape. And I'm also accustomed to drawing big smiles, so this was right up my alley in my comfort zone. So right here we're drawing all the teeth in. Probably one of my favorite parts of drawing my characters is I just love drawing all their teeth. It's a lot of fun, kind of therapeutic. Just zone out and draw 100 million teeth. So here we're jumping over to line art. This is the POSCA 0.7. It's technically, as I've said in many videos, it's technically a paint marker, but I use it for lining like a pen. It's bold, draws really well. And you can smear it if you need to. Here we are filling in all the teeth. And the eyes. Go around the whole head. Working on his mouth smile lines. I like to have them go way up on his face. A little unbelievable how far they go up, but there's something creepy about a giant grin. Now working out the lines on his shirt. I don't typically draw super formal shirts on my characters, so I had to double take and look at the reference picture a lot. Now it's time to put some color in on our prototype drawing. He's rocking red, blue, and yellow on his hat and jacket. I'm using the Derwent Inktense pencils. They're like watercolor pencils, but instead of watercolor, it's ink. So what you do is you basically just color it in like you're using a colored pencil, and then afterwards you come through with a watered down brush or one of those water brush pens, and you simply apply the water and brush it around and blend it. It'll act like watercolor does when you add water to it. So you'll be able to blend it around, make it lighter or darker depending on how much you colored it in with the colored pencil. I find it a lot easier and quicker and more efficient than busting out the paint palette and getting out all of my watercolor paints. This is just a lot faster and easier to do. I think the colors are very bold, which I like, but you can also add a lot of water and kind of really wash it out to make it a lot more transparent. This is one of my favorite coloring products. I like to use it a lot in a lot of my quick drawings. Alright, so now we're dropping in some ink, filling in all the black spots. So we're getting in the eyes, the mouth, giving it some evil void and depth, making things look hollowed out, creepy. I also like to put it around some of the lines just to give it kind of a bleed effect. A little bit of shadowing, but technically I just like to do it to give it a bleed effect along some of the edges. I like the depth that it gives the artwork. Sometimes I'll do it even if I don't know where my light source is. I just like to give it a creepy, blurry, bleeding vibe. Alright, now we're on to the best part. This is the part where you get to put the blood in. I can't really help myself when it comes to painting blood. It's just too much fun, and it makes the drawings way too creepy. So even when I try to make a good drawing, a nice little drawing without blood, I just can't help it. I get the itch and I have to start putting it in. And once you start, there's no going back. So, you know, blood splatter to the walls. Go hard. As I've said in some of my other videos, I like the fluidity of drawing liquid. So, painting blood running down my characters is a lot of fun. It's just fun to just zone out and try and draw the flowing liquid down your characters, and just quite frankly making a mess of everything that you've just drawn and blocked in. Sometimes we can't always draw beautiful things. In this part it's kind of hard to see because my camera continually wouldn't stop zooming in on my hand, and the lines are super fine. But right here I'm just using a very fine pen and just shading in and hashing in a lot of really tiny lines. It gives it a lot of texture and depth, and honestly just makes it look a lot more creepy and vintage. Just quickly throwing some spikes onto him. And of course, the last and final, most fun, best part is adding the highlights. So you gotta bust out that white pen and make everything shine. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try and do a couple more videos like this, start to finish drawings. If you did, like and subscribe. And until next time, stay creepy.